Welcome to this video, which is all about learning the Forex basics needed to become a consistent, profitable trader. Now, in relation to becoming a successful trader, we're going to be learning from one of the greatest traders of all time. His name is Baruch. Now, in terms of Baruch, I'm going to go through his key tips for trading success in this tutorial. Later on, I'm going to give you my favourite 10 quotes from him. The quotes are essential for beginners to understand and practice in the market. So I don't just think beginners will like the quotes, I think more experienced traders will enjoy them too. They're timeless investment wisdom. Now, who was Baruch? Well, he was considered one of the great traders of the 1920s. He made his first million by the time he was 30, and he made money in every single year that he traded. When the 1929 crash came, just a few days before, he took out his substantial fortune from the markets and retired. He went on to advise several US presidents, including Franklin D. Roosevelt and Harry S. Truman. Now, in terms of the 1920s, there's a trader that's very popular in the media. His name is Jesse Livermore, and his book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, is rightly considered an investment classic. Now, the media often portray Livermore as one of the greatest traders of all time, but he wasn't. Baruch was far better. Why? Livermore made a substantial amount of money several times, and he always managed to lose it back to the markets and died broke. Baruch was just consistently profitable. Livermore is more a sort of lesson in what not to do in trading. Baruch gives you lessons on what you should do to achieve success. Now, I do love Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, and it does outline all the pitfalls. But in terms of Baruch, he's got as much wisdom to give, if not more, than Jesse Livermore. Now, in terms of giving back profits, we've all heard, the timeless investment wisdom, you've got to cut your losses. Baruch would stress that strongly as well. However, he also stressed very strongly that you need to hang on to your profits, and most traders cannot hang on to their profits. Beginners in particular, they come in, they start to trade, they start to make money, they get overexcited, they start to leverage up their positions, take on new positions, and end up giving all their money back to the markets, and very often more. Baruch always said that it's easier to get into a trade than it is to get out of a trade. That's very true, because you've got to decide when you've got enough profit in the markets and when to take it. He makes the point, you've got to have an objective. Once you've reached that objective, it's time to take money off the table, lighten up your position, or at least protect it. He also makes the point that it doesn't matter if the market runs on, okay, and you could have made more profit. If you've got what you're happy with, then you take it. And that is why he made so much money. I've always been in favour of that, taking money off the table and not getting too excited when I've got a profit, okay? Because as soon as you start getting excited, you get overconfident, and then you lose the money back to the markets. Now, in terms of Baruch, he makes another key point, which I've always believed, in that he said, humans tend to put energy into ventures when it's not needed. And by that he meant that people make too much effort in terms of trading. They work too hard. Now, in most jobs, if you work harder, you make more money. Trading, that isn't the case. You're only judged on results. If it took you a minute to come up with a trading idea or several hours, you're still only judged on your results. He made the point, you just need a simple strategy and basically knowledge of yourself, i.e. self-control. The knowledge that you need to learn to win at Forex trading doesn't take long, okay? Learning a simple strategy can take you very little time. It's your self-control, your discipline, and the way you apply your strategy that is all important. You must apply it with total discipline, otherwise you're never going to win. So never make too much effort in your Forex trading. Just be happy with a simple strategy and just work on always being disciplined and controlling your emotions. Now, in terms of a book that heavily influenced Baruch, it was Extraordinary Popular Delusions and Madness of Crowds by Charles Mackay. Now, if you were to go and look up that book on the net, you'll find it is one of the most highly rated investment books ever. All the great traders will probably have it on their required reading list. Now, when Baruch had the book, he had an old copy. The book had actually gone out of print. He thought the book was so good that he actually paid for it to be reprinted. And it is a wonderful book. So what's the book about? It's all about crowd psychology and sentiment. And that is really what Baruch was. He was a sentiment trader. And he was making the key point back in the 1920s that you get all this news and all these economic reports, which all sounded very logical. The reasoning sounded like it might come to fruition, but it never did. And he said, economists, they do know a lot, but how much do they really know? If they really knew about trading, they'd all be rich and he'd have no money. He had a lot of money. You don't see many economists who trade and who are rich. Now, we live in the information age. We've got so much information that we can go and read online. It all sounds very convincing, and yet more often than not, it's wrong. And Baruch, just before he died, he lived to 87, said all the technological advances that he'd seen over the years just simply wouldn't help a person win at trading. All the complicated analysis, all the news, the speed of delivery, it just doesn't help. And Baruch died in the 60s, and we've obviously seen a lot of advances since then. Ratio of winners to losers still remains the same. If you want to win at Forex trading, you need to judge sentiment. When a market becomes too bullish, it normally will always reverse when the majority thinks it's going higher. When a market becomes too bearish, again, will always reverse when the majority think it's going lower. I think in terms of Baruch, he's kind of stood the test of time. And in terms of what you can learn from him, I think, you can learn an awful lot. There's plenty of information on Bernard Baruch online. I'd advise you to go and research it and study the way he made money. Now, in terms of finishing off this video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish with my favourite quotes from Baruch, which give some additional tips to the ones that I've discussed and also reinforce the ones that I've just given. So I hope you enjoy the quotes. I will speak to you soon. Thank you and have a good day.